Hello, folks. This is my wrap-up video for the Public Relations Writing course. Our time together has gone by very quickly. I'm sure that at times the experience was frustrating because you were writing in a new way, a new style. You may have never written actual public relations copy before. By now, you know very well that PR copy is different from typical written copy you've generated as a college student. First, before I go on, a little bit about resumes. It's essential that you be able to create a resume that reflects your abilities and professionalism. It's also essential that you be able to show potential employers how you can create and manage an electronic portfolio. Reflect on the communication earlier in class about personal branding. You need to create your own personal brand that identifies who you are, what your strengths are, and how you can use your knowledge and skills to help an employer boost ROI, or return on investment. That's another concept we've already discussed. Make sure your resume correctly identifies the degree you're seeking. No joke, I've collected resumes from PR writing classes in which half the students did not correctly identify the degree they're working on at Cal State Fullerton. We do not have a degree in public relations. I'm sorry. See the sample diploma in Canvas. We also do not have a degree in social media communication. Don't change the name of your degree on your resume. Employers will know, and this can disqualify you from getting an interview. What's more, I have collected resumes from students who claim to be studying at California State University of Fullerton, California State University in Fullerton, University of California, Fullerton, and California University of Fullerton. All of those are wrong. If you do not know the correct name of this university, a big, obvious fact, employers will think you probably missed the little errors too. Some other quick tips for resumes. Bilingual ability is huge, no matter what the language. Nearly all employers are looking to hire bilingual people. Do you speak Spanish? Chingao, girl, don't hide it. The same goes for any language other than English. Mention your bilingual ability right up front in a strong, assertive, objective statement on your resume. I've had students fluent in 3 languages not listed on their resumes. Oh my God, did they not want to get a job? Identify employment history in PR terms. It's absolutely okay to list jobs that are not PR related on your resume. But list those jobs so that you highlight work that's relevant to PR. If you worked at Home Depot, if you worked as a nanny, if you worked anywhere, you can identify responsibilities you had on that job that prepared you for work in PR. If you worked with customers, dealt with technical specifications, managed activities, even if you just answered the phone, those are skills still relevant in the PR workplace, right? Since your intent is a PR career, don't hesitate to show how you develop PR skills, even when working with jobs that were by nature not PR jobs. Keep work descriptions on your resume short and active. Employers do not read resumes, they eyeball them. One recent study reported that employers spend less than 15 seconds previewing a resume. 15 seconds. Make your resume eye scan friendly with short, active descriptions and powerful, accurate keywords. Consider whether high school stuff matters anymore. I would argue that most of the stuff people do in high school is irrelevant to employers of college graduates or soon-to-be graduates. If you are the valedictorian, okay, maybe that's relevant. If you are president of the pottery club, nobody cares. I'm sorry, but it's true. Don't burn up space listing the pottery club on your resume. That's not a diss to people who are in the pottery club. I was in the pottery club at Chatsworth High School, but I don't list it on my resume. Your GPA is not as relevant as you think it is. If you have a GPA of 3.8 or above, okay, you can go ahead and list that on your resume. Otherwise, Don't mention your GPA. Communication employers are more interested in what you can do than what your grades were. My undergraduate GPA, 3.3. Just saying. Don't list the courses you took. If you're a PR student, it's assumed you will have taken a lot of PR courses. You don't need to list them. Again, this is stuff that employers really don't need to see that as they eyeball your resume. Anytime you want me to look at your resume, even after our class ends, reach out. I'm happy to help. Now, a bit about strategy and creativity. Public relations is a blend of strategy and creativity, or as I described earlier in the video, if you watched it, the art and the craft. Strategy is the craft part. You need to strategically craft or structure messages that resonate with people. Strategy, craft, involves research. It involves planning. It involves assessing whether your strategy is actually the right one. Creativity is the art part. You need to creatively get into the minds of the people you're writing for so you can anticipate what they already know and what they want and need to know. No matter what tool you are creating, though, the process of public relations is the same. The goal is to establish and maintain mutually beneficial relationships between the client and the audiences and publics. That engagement can be internal or external. Novice practitioners often start thinking in terms of the tools they will use before they actually conduct the research and planning that would affirm those tools are strategically appropriate and pragmatically reasonable. Let me read that again. Novice practitioners often start thinking of the tools they will use before they do the research and planning that affirms those are the right tools. This is a mistake. Assumptions can quickly creep in. For example, it's easy to assume everybody uses social media, or nobody reads print newspapers anymore. These incorrect assumptions and others that can easily be made through lack of research support can threaten the success of any public relations effort. Don't make assumptions. I hope you have read each chapter of our book, required readings, and reviewed all the items in Canvas. I've tried to give you lots of relevant resources to prepare you cognitively in terms of understanding how PR writing works. As you know, recent years have brought dramatic economic, cultural, social, and technological change to society. The public relations field has evolved both in response to those changes and in anticipation of what those changes will mean for organizations and people. In this course, we worked on news releases, pitch letters, backgrounders, and other documents that came into being in the mid-20th century when newspapers, TV, and radio were the dominant news media in society, and news tips were typically launched on paper. Now, while print material is still important, it's no longer the dominant form of communication between PR people and media decision makers. Over the past 20 years in the US, more than 2,000 newspapers have gone out of business. In many communities today, there is no local newspaper. As news changes, both as a concept and as an industry, PR has changed and will continue to do so. I kept these 20th century documents in our course content because they help you develop the strategic and creative skills you need, even though you won't use those paper-based tools as much as they have been used in the past. And of course, TV and radio have changed dramatically too. 30 years ago, a public relations professional needing to include broadcast messages in a campaign could easily identify a handful of local TV and radio stations through which to reach intended audiences. This is no longer the case. Local television stations still exist, of course, but today's TV audience is fragmented across hundreds of cable channels and platforms. Streaming video services, including Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hulu, Max, Netflix, Tubi, and lots of others. Internet-delivered user-created video is offered by platforms that include DTube, Twitch, YouTube, and Vimeo, and others. Local radio stations still exist too, but most terrestrial radio stations today don't offer local news. Many stations are run by automation, which means there's no live on-air talent during much of the broadcast day. Of course, the category of radio has broadened to include a variety of non-terrestrial satellite-delivered audio, including Pandora, SiriusXM, Spotify, Worldwide FM, and many others. Targeting audiences and publics via the media is just one of the many strategic and creative challenges to public relations work. You may already feel overwhelmed, but please know you are not alone. Even seasoned PR professionals struggle to stay on top of all the changes that are taking place, and the changes are occurring faster all the time. In the classic film All About Eve from 1950, the legendary actress Bette Davis famously stood at the bottom of a staircase and said to a room full of party guests, "Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night." I won't ask you to fasten your seatbelts. I also won't promise you a career without bumps in the night or bumps in the day. But I will tell you, public relations is an exciting, dynamic, ever-changing profession. If you love the idea of finding answers to challenging situations and writing persuasive and informative copy and doing something different every day of your work life, public relations is the place for you. You will never be bored. That I can promise.